selfishness is good. It is the highest form of service to our highest self. As I have talked about in previous videos, consciousness initiates the illusion of separation in order to discover itself in the reflection of a perceived other. So the way that we serve this desire for consciousness to discover itself is by embodying our ego expression, by expressing ourselves through our ego, by individuating ourselves and defining ourselves as an individual. Another way to understand this is through the evolutionary lens. We know that all life comes from a single ancestor. And so all life is one family. All life is one expression of biological genetic existence. And so the way evolution works is that this biological DNA mutates and takes on different forms in order to discover the best and most adaptive way to create life. And life finds balance by continuously mutating and expressing itself in different forms. So the way that we can serve evolution and be in service to the balance of life is by expressing ourselves as an individual, by fulfilling our own individual body, by fulfilling our own individual genetic code. And through that process, when every form of life does that, then through that dynamic, a perfect balance, perfect evolutionary adaptation is created. For example, take a bee, for example. A bee, its instincts are to go out and collect pollen for its hive, to feed its brothers and sisters in the hive and its children. So it goes out and it collects pollen. That is its focus. That is what it's driven to do, to fulfill its own body. But in doing that, the bee benefits many plants and animals and serves a higher purpose within the ecosystem of life. And so when each living thing does that, when we connect to our own genetic code, our own wisdom that is encoded into our DNA, our own body has an intelligence to it. And when we fulfill that, we are in service to the evolution and the fitness of life as a whole. So desire is the universal power that ignites consciousness to initiate the material world, the desire for self-discovery. And so it is that desire that connects us to the divine purpose of the universe. It is that desire that connects us to our higher purpose. And so when we connect with that desire and we focus on that and we fulfill that, that is how we find our compass. That is how we find our purpose and our highest service to the universal reason for existence. When we think about reason and law and morality, and we try to rationalize things and create these permanent structures for us to understand how to navigate in the world, in some ways that is good on a social level, and it makes sense for us as humans to do that. But these things, nothing can be permanent from that realm, because the universe is always transforming and changing and evolving. The environment is evolving. Our relationship to each other and to the world is always going to be changing and evolving. So permanent structures, permanent laws, permanent understandings, permanent identity is going to become outdated. So how do we know the proper way for us to behave? That intelligence is communicated to us by the higher consciousness, by the universal intelligence, through our desire. When we follow that, we are creating the balance. We are offering the universe, offering divine consciousness the opportunity to discover itself in our own reflection. Reason without desire is lost. You can use reason to prove any point or disprove any point. So reason is a circular, empty practice. Reason evolved to be in service to our desire. Reason needs a direction to have purpose, and that direction is given to it by desire. So it's not correct to think of desire and reason as being opposed to one another. Reason evolved to serve desire. Desire is the intelligence that connects us to the origin of the universe, to the divine purpose of the universe. So when we connect with that and we use our reason to serve that intelligence, that is when we become integrated as a human being, and we use our full potential to express our ego embodiment as a fractal manifestation of divine energy, of divine consciousness. And so that is the understanding that we need to move into as a human society, is to step out of the polarity, step out of the binary thinking, the duality thinking of desire and reason as being opposed to one another, and step into the philosophy, the idea, the identity that in serving our own body, in serving our ego selves, our individual self, expressing ourselves in that way, that is the highest form of service that we can participate in. And by doing that, we are not only in service to each other as human beings, as life forms, we are also in service to the highest spiritual dimension, and allowing consciousness to discover itself through our authenticity and through our self-expression.